My name is Andy Hornby, photographer and vlogger. 17 years ago I started teaching myself photography. Today I travel the UK as a professional wedding photographer, landscape photographer and filmmaker. Learn from my experiences, my mistakes and my tips and advice. Hello and welcome to another video, and I have to apologise because this picture that you're about to see is faked. It's not real. It's a no, it's not. It is actually. It's not a composite. Some people have said that I've just swapped out the sky, and I haven't. So let me give you the background to this picture. Now, I was at Hatchet Pond a few weeks ago. I've done a few videos. I did a time-lapse video and I did some other bits and pieces. So look back through my videos. So when I was down there, I wanted to stay down there longer than I did. And even in those videos I mentioned about staying till sunset and getting a nice sunset shot. I wanted to do some long exposure stuff. But unfortunately the weather wasn't on my side. It started absolutely bucking down. Even halfway through one of my time lapses, I had to stop my time lapse, go back to the car, wait, go back out and start time lapse all over again. I had 2 attempts at it. The sky was actually really nice. It's actually quite a nice day for landscape photography. I like that kind of stuff. And I would have liked to have done a long exposure like you see in the picture, but the weather turned nasty and there was no sunset, so I came home early, decided to miss the traffic, not wait around, and because it's quite a way away and traffic back from that location is a nightmare at rush hour. So I decided to fake a long exposure. Now it's not really a fake, and I've done this kind of thing before. If you look back through all my videos, in fact I'll link it up there, there's a video on how to take out people from a picture without using long exposure, because long exposure photography is brilliant to take people out of a picture. As long as those people are moving, you're always going to get the background bleed in and completely negate whatever movement you've got in your image. And you can use that same technique to fake long exposure photography. So if you've got clouds that you want to get, unfortunately I've done a time lapse. Now the thing with the time lapse, I've taken 600 or so images over a period of whatever it was, an hour or whatever, but I can take a certain section of those images. I use 48, 50 of those images and use the technique in Photoshop to blend them together, make it look like a long exposure. It's really simple and it's only a few clicks. It takes a couple of minutes. You don't need to be an advanced Photoshopper to do this. It's literally a few clicks. There's a few important things you need to think about. Doing it on a tripod is going to be easier, but even if you've done it handheld, you can still import these pictures into Photoshop, and Photoshop will do a good job of aligning them. I'll show you how to do that too. So hang around. In a minute, I'm going to show you my entire process. I took 50 images. I'd already done the edits in Lightroom because I've done them as part of my time-lapse video from last week. So I've already got 50 fully edited, nicely timed, if you like, images, and all I've done is I've imported them into Photoshop as a stack. Now that's very important. You can't just import them into Photoshop. They would normally import as separate images, but if you import them in as a stack, you'll see down on the right hand side they import as layers. It's all layers, and as long as they're in order, you can then click a few buttons. Now I use what's called the mean or average. There's a filter that takes the average pixel of all those pictures, so you highlight them all. You do a few clicks here and there in Photoshop. I'm going to show you how to do it, so don't go anywhere. Tell Photoshop to take the mean or median. You can play around with either one. I use mean, I think, in this video. Now what mean is an average. If you remember back to your school days, mean means average. It evaluates all the different pixels in all the different images. Takes a bit of time, so I think I fast forwarded it a little bit, and determines what the average picture color or density should be, and then apply that to one image of all these 50. So if you've got a time lapse, or it's easier to do it as a time lapse, or if you've got a range of images taken over a period of time, you use this technique. What it does is it draws out that whole time lapse into one image and creates what looks like a long exposure. The picture isn't a fake, it's real. It's just taken from 50 images. So it's not a real long exposure as done in camera, but it is a long exposure picture. I hope you enjoy this, and if this kind of thing interests you, please whack a thumbs up on the video. That's always going to help. Share it if you can. I'm doing a lot of videos on different things, a lot of landscape stuff recently, so I'm doing more landscape stuff. If you're new here, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get updates every time I upload a new video. Stick around now, because for the next couple of minutes I'm going to show you how I imported those 50 images that I've already edited, by the way. So I edited them as part of my time lapse, so most of the edit's done. I do some extra stuff after I've created this image that looks like a long exposure. I've then done a little bit more tweaking here and there to colorize and do a bit of other bits and pieces. So watch this, hopefully you enjoy it. Like I say, whack a thumbs up if you can, that's going to help me massively. And I'll see you on another video soon. Take care, bye.
Only you know you're my savior and my western wind, and I know you like it. It's time now, let's be